Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Rick Parish. I'm the Parks and Recreation Director for the City of Cheyenne. Today, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about the Cahill Park, Greenway, and the right-of-way around Menards new construction site, and talk a little bit about the effects that the construction is having out there. For you, those that may not have been down Del Range or Windmill Road lately, all those scrapers and that dirt being moved is where the site of the new Menards Home Improvement Store will be. So first of all, what I'd like to talk about today is a little bit about some of the improvements that was worked out when Menards purchased that property from the City of Cheyenne, and talk to the public about that so they're aware of what those improvements are that are going to be occurring on the park site. A little later, I will give names and phone numbers of Menards officials that if you want to contact them, because I really don't know any of the specifics about Menards' construction schedule or how they're moving about with their construction, because that's not what I'm here for, but I will give you the contact information on that. First of all, I wanted to talk a little bit about the improvements that came with the deal when that land was sold to Menards. The first thing that I want to talk about is the Moran Road extension. On the map here to my right, your left, is Del Range Boulevard, and this is Windmill Road right here. Powers baseball field sets over in this area here. So a new road will be constructed that will be on the west side of Cahill Park, and that is Moran right here. So as part of Menards improvements, they will be building Moran. They will also be running water and sewer up that whole distance there, for which would help enhance future park development of parklands that are to the south and back to the east of that road. Along with this road improvement, there's quite a few amenities, and that's why I'm talking about this one first. Number one is a traffic signal will be placed in there, and that will be, Menards will be paying for that, and so a traffic signal goes in. Also, the Greenway ran through that area. The Greenway right now is closed in that area. I want to let the citizens know that. But a new Greenway tunnel will go underneath Moran, and that is located right at this site, right off of the soccer field number 5, which is located here. So there will be a pedestrian tunnel that will go under Moran for public safety and transportation of pedestrians and bicyclists, and that will tie into the tunnel that goes under Del Range and be a lot cleaner intersection there. It will be a nice T intersection with a lot of visibility. That whole area will be leveled out in that particular area for allowing for that. In addition to that, in negotiations with Menards, they agreed to improve the street right away all the way. You can see that there's trees all along Moran, and there's an 8-foot pedestrian pathway there. Typically, you do not need a sidewalk that large, but because it's a park area that they're adjacent to and a good neighbor, that we wanted that to be an 8-foot pathway system there, and that will be incorporated into the street design there. There will also be, it'll meet the new UDC standards for roadway design. It will have a tree lawn and things of that nature in that particular area. Next, I want to talk about Rock Springs Road. That will be on the south side, and that is straight across from the entrance into Powers Field. And Rock Springs will come up to this intersect with Moran, so people will be able to access both Cahill Park and the Menards store off of Windmill on Rock Springs. Again, there will be street improvements there, sidewalk on the north side of that, and trees all along that area, which will give good access through that area. One of the biggest things that I did want to talk about, that's an improvement for Cahill Park in itself. Right now, we just had some gravel parking lots that were in existence off of the backside of the soccer fields. Menards will be building a 100-car parking lot that will be curb and gutter and asphalt and have street lights in it. And that is located right here off of field number 4 that is out of the soccer complex. Those improvements of having a paved parking lot will really help out, because spring or fall soccer, we get into very wet conditions or snow conditions, and we weren't able to plow and maintain those other parking lots, and now we will have a parking lot that is asphalt and allow access to not only soccer fields but also to the rest of Cahill Park. So a very nice improvement. Sidewalks will go down to that, and it's something that we haven't had in that particular park before. So just will be a very nice improvement there. Let me check, and I think that I'd already mentioned water and sewer will come up here, which will help us for future irrigation and things of that nature, any future buildings that we do on the park property. So that is a big positive. The one thing I do want to talk about is that we worked with Menards on this design to have as many or as least encroachment and things into the park as possible. But I am going to mention that there will be some trees that do have to be removed. And if we can go over to, in fact, I'm going to move this over just a little bit closer so that you can still hear me on the mic. And we'll talk a little bit about some of the things that will happen in the park. This is the proposed alignment of Moran Avenue. Moran has to be placed in this particular position because Moran Avenue is right here on the other side of the street, and Moran on the other side of Dry Creek is aligned with this street. So any future development of Moran with crossing across the Sheridan Reach of Dry Creek would be needing to line up. With this alignment, it does come fairly close to some trees that are in the park, and so some trees do have to be removed. And with the realignment of the Greenway in through here, some trees are going to be removed in that area too. Roughly 63 trees on city-owned property will be removed. Some of them already have been removed in this area, but off of field number 5, there will be some trees that have to come down. And over here where the future parking lot is, there will be some trees that will be removed in that area. Originally, with the grading plan, when it came out, there was going to be additional trees that had to be removed in this area too, but with the cooperation of Menards, their engineers, and Ryman Corporation, we were able to move a detention pond that would be located in this area for this parking lot. We moved it over, and we were able to save 24 large mature trees in that particular area. We also moved 3 trees out of this area that were still small enough to tree spade, and we moved them out to Saddle Ridge Park. So, yes, some trees will be being removed, but we have guarantees from Menards that they will replace those trees at a 1-to-1 ratio, and so those 63 trees will be planted back into the park area. In addition to that, as I spoke earlier, these areas are also, these trees along here are also in the right-of-way along the park area, so those are additional trees on top of the 63 that will be planted on the Cahill Park side. Menards has to, with their site plan, they're planting 286 trees on their site. So there will be a lot of trees that go into the whole site as it's being developed. Again, additionally, there's some out parcels down in this area of Menards property, and when those areas are developed, there will be additional trees as to the site requirements in that area. So a lot of trees are going back in. One of the benefits to Parks and Recreation is the trees that we had before were in a dryland landscape, and we had to hand water a lot of those trees. All of the trees that, and some of them will be going back in this area where they were removed. And they're not showing because it's the Menards site plan. But that whole area is going to be irrigated. And so that will really help in those trees getting established and reaching maturity at a faster rate because of the irrigation system. And all the trees along the right-of-way will also be irrigated. So that's a real positive for us because it takes manpower and time and equipment to water trees all year round, and they don't have irrigation. So we're very, very happy, very excited about that. I think there'll be some great improvement in that area for those type of amenities, and to have that area greened up and actual, right now it's a native type vegetation, and now it'll be going to a more park-like setting as we move into the future on that. One of the things that I also wanted to mention is that Cahill Park, it's still open to the public. What I would request of the citizens is to not go into any place. If you're still on green grass, you're fine. If you're going in, if you see where they've had construction and removed it and it's dirt, please stay out of that area. Soccer games, we work with the Cheyenne Soccer Association, and we are still having games out there on fields 1 and 2. We've already marked the fields, and it's for the smaller age groups, and so I think we have multiple fields marked out on those pads 1 and 2. But pads 3, 4, and 5 at this time we're closing for the fall season, and we've been able to move those games out to North Cheyenne Community Park, and that's working well. And the Cheyenne Soccer Association, I want to thank them for working with us to do that. Also, the Greenway along Dell Range is closed, and we have closed the tunnel underneath Dell Range on the Sheridan Reach there until this construction. It'll probably be next spring before it's open. But there is the alternative path at Cahill Park where you come around and follow the Dry Creek drainage diversion, and that will take you around and back over to Powers Field, and you can still ride the Greenway all the way around. With that, I'm not sure if I forgot anything. I know I put out a lot of information there in a short period of time, but I would be open for any questions that you may have.
Forgive my own ignorance. I've only been here for about 2.5 months. How long have all these negotiations been going on?
Oh, I don't know the exact time frame on that, James, but I would think that we've been in negotiations for almost a year with Menards.
Understood. I take it they've been very conciliatory about working with the city on keeping this as nice as possible regarding the trees and the park.
Yes, they have. It's been a good working relationship. I think that things have went very positive in that. I think Menards is very aware that they want to have a beautiful park next to them, and we want to have a beautiful facility over there. I think that's why all the landscaping is of the quality that it is that we see.
And does the city have any responsibility in any of this? Is the city spending any money on any of this?
No, we are not.
Understood.
All of those improvements are improvements that Menards agreed to in the negotiations.
Very nice.
What's the time frame for the completion of the memorial work?
Again, earlier, it's Doug, right?
Yes.
Doug. Anything that I really do not know the construction schedule with Menards. I've heard dates as long as like everybody else, but I know that they would like to be open for the spring. But I do not know any specific scheduling of either the building or the roads or things like that. I know right now they're just doing all the site grading on the facility. I will give everybody a name and number that they can contact for Menards for questions on their development. But today I'm just speaking about the stuff with the city. Any other questions? All right, well, thank you for coming out today. I appreciate it.